Call this meeting to order, please. Good. Thanks for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone here to this exciting meeting. Okay, let's item up. Everyone had a chance to read the minutes. First by legislator Martino, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. First resolution is the resolution authorizing the execution of the intermunicipal agreement between the city of Oswego and the county of Oswego for the leachate treatment and the sludge disposal. As everyone knows, a few years ago, we reached an agreement with the city of Oswego. Budget neutral type deal, take care of our leachate. Thank you, sir. That'll help us get out of here before it's coming. First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holst. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Carries. IT2, resolution authorizing the implementation and funding of 100% of the cost of transportation project, which may be eligible for federal aid and or state aid or reimbursement from Bridge New York funds. As we know, it's an annual thing and we're able to receive money and funding. Moved. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Martino. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Carries. IT3, resolution authorizing budget modification with the highway department to transfer funds from an insurance recovery fund to the highway expense, the amount of $2,578.36. First by legislator Martino, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. IT4, resolution authorizing budget modification with the highway department to transfer the sale of equipment into highway and street equipment. This is a sale of a tree truck in the amount of $30,000.
I'll move it.
First by legislator House, second by legislator Holst. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. Carries. IT5, resolution authorizing expenditure from capital reserve number 21, buildings and renovations. These are some things that are taken care of in the courthouse and the amount of $10,500.
Move it.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator House. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none. IT6, resolution amending capital project number 72, DMV expansion renovation, and closing capital project number 89, airport site development. Time we start talking, what do you guys want to move it?
Move for discussion.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Lockwood. Anyone have any questions?
Come in. This is the last of the OTAS money.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, and that's why it's such a low amount, but these two things were created by the legislature, so transferring the $5 over into the DMV expansion clears out that capital project, and you can use that money to do the pipeline repair at the DMV that is required.
Must be a pretty small pipe.
No, it's what, 17,000.
All those,
Yep.
all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Carries. IT7, resolution adopting County of Oswego local law number 4 of 2022 entitled local law amending local law number 4 of 2015, a local law permitting and regulating all-terrain vehicle operation on certain county roads.
Move it.
First by legislator Hall, second by legislator Martino. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries. Okay, committee review. Actually, what do we got here? These are bids. On to you, Holly.
Okay. The first one is for highway vegetation control along the roadways. We sent it out to 3. We received 3 bids in. I think you have a list. It's being awarded, or we'd like to award it to Midstate Lawn and Tree Service. They've had it before, I believe, right? And they were definitely the lowest bidder.
I know, did we have them before?
I didn't know.
Oh,
Chase.
okay, they worked in Onondaga. He calls all the time. They wait for the bids to come out.
Understood.
He does other stuff, snow.
I know it's
Snow removal
one
and
of
stuff.
those things that's monitored pretty closely because they haven't.
Yeah, I double checked. I called the
I knew we had.
DEC and they're on, yeah,
Okay. I
all
know
of
we
these
had
were
good luck.
approved and,
The last people. that did.
Yeah, we're straight.
Which hopefully we have the same success with the whole bit here. Okay, you award it.
Move it.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator House. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, carries. Aye.
okay, the next one is structural steel. And, we sent out to 5. We only received 1 response back. So, needless to say, that's who won the bid.
What was it?
I'm losing it right here. It's Shimon. Yep.
Okay, we'll award this month, first by legislator Holst, second by
We'll do it.
legislator House. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, carries.
Okay. The next one, the lower chamber refractory brick liner. We sent that out to 3 vendors. 2 responded. The energy recovery facility was the lowest bid at $44,840.
Okay. Any issues with them, Carl?
No, we've dealt with both of these contractors before. They're both capable, so we'll go through them.
Understand? A motion to award the low bid.
Move it.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holt. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, go ahead.
Okay, the next one, powdered activated carbon. We sent it out to 6 vendors. We received 1 response, Norit Americas, and they're charging $2,140 per ton, which was up from last year, like everything else.
Yep.
Right?
That's correct, yeah.
Once again, Carl, I always ask,
These were, this was the prior vendor. I think it was the only bidder then, the only bidder now. It's something we need
I know
to,
it's
by permit, to continue operating, so.
right, one of those things.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Understand. To move it. First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holt. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Next one, switchgear, switchyard maintenance, which has to be done, right, Carl?
Yeah,
We
that has
sent
to be
it,
done.
yeah, we sent it to 2 people. We got 1 response back, Black and McDonald, and they're charging $78,525. But we added stuff from last year, right?
I believe Joe had added some extra things to that.
Yeah.
That's one mistake to catch up with, not seeing things.
Understood. Motion approved. First by legislator
What does this
Martino.
do?
Basically, they come in and inspect all of our high voltage switchgear. So we have 35 kV switchgear, that's the main switchgear that comes in. And we also have some medium voltage stuff for, on the current buses for our generating equipment. So it's kind of specialty equipment. They're not saying that they're supposed to come in every couple of years to do inspections on it.
Just curious.
Yeah, no
Move it.
problem.
All right, first by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holt. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Okay, the next one, number 4 transfer conveyor refurbish. We sent it out to 2 vendors. We received 2 bids back, but 1 was a different vendor. And PowerCon was the less expensive one, and $165,402.
Move
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Holt. Legislator Lockwood. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, I believe that's all the bids. Thank you, Val. Okay, department updates under the airport. That's first is commercial aviation hangar land lease.
Yeah, so this is a purchase we have the aviation repair build facility on the field, and he's actually purchasing one of the existing hangars right now from a private individual. Does happen to be the flight school, which we have to figure out what's going on with the flight school. Timing is actually pretty good because we're almost done with that new terminal building, which is going to leave the existing terminal building up for rent. We've been talking with a guy who's interested in potentially renting the existing office right now as a flight school. So it actually expands the repair facility on the field, which is great news for us. He's a tremendous asset to the airport. So we're just asking to approve the lease.
Okay. So we went through what I read.
Yeah, I went through Rich. Yeah.
Yes. The motion to move it.
I'll make a motion.
First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holmes. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. So that's the next thing is military operations at the Oswego County Airport.
So I've been in discussions with a major, with the 174th Fighter Wing out of Fort Drum. And what they're looking to do is basically expand their operations. Right now, if they fly out of a facility, wherever it may be, fly a mission, there's a big chance that wherever they departed from isn't there anymore because of missile attacks or whatever it may be. So they're basically what they're looking to do is fly into non-military bases just to get a feel for what it's going to be like if they run into that scenario. It's a very simple agreement to us. We basically can't tell them no. Anyways, we're a public aviation facility. We're happy to partner with them. And as part of it, they'll be refueling at our facility during these operations, tremendously increasing our fuel sales. So I've got a memorandum of understanding that I just received this morning that anybody's willing to look at, but very simple. They're going to give us a 30-day notice. If we want to make a media event out of it, they're not opposed to that. It's only going to be a couple times a year for maximum, but I think it's very beneficial to the airport.
Do you intend on making some type of media type event out of it?
I think it would be a good idea.
I think it would be a fantastic
I
thing.
agree wholeheartedly. That was one of my first questions with Major Sirik was, can we do that? And he says, yes, we can.
As long as they're okay with it.
Yes.
Have you shown that to Rich yet?
Not the memorandum. I just received the memorandum.
I know it, myself, I'd be willing to support it, but as long as it's okay
We
with
can't
Rich.
tell them no either way. Like I
Right,
said,
exactly.
I'd say we can't tell them no either way.
Right. Understood, so we need to make a motion to accept this pending Richie's approval.
That would be perfect. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
looking for a motion to enter this agreement, pending our county attorney's approval. First by legislator Lockwood, second by legislator Holmes. All in favor?
I
Okay,
I appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you very much. And that concludes the airport and B&G department update. That's cool, right?
It's going good. We have a few RFPs out there right now, one for the roof at our building, one for a construction management team over at Bonner Street. We're getting pricing on the courthouse, what it would take to fix that up. And as of today, we're gonna probably send an RFP out for an architect engineer to get a cost on replacing the elevator here.
I was gonna ask you that, as soon as you were done on that, Phil brought it up to me, I said, I think that'd be a good topic.
We had some issues and talked with Phil about it, and I think it's probably what we need to do.
Yeah, I know there were some issues in the past, not serious ones, but due to the age of the elevator.
Right, it's about 50 years old. It's time to see what needs to be done to at least update it.
Should give us a little bit more serious.
Right, and
It is kind of a problem because it's like a state law.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand, so do we need to make a, do anything as far as sending it out for an RFP?
They'll do that and they'll report back and at that time you'll have the costs, and you can set up a
Right.
capital project to decide if you want to do it or not. But the elevator failed today with an employee inside. Fell a little bit, stuck between the third and the second floor. Rick effected the rescue, and the employee's okay. But that was a close enough call for me.
Absolutely.
And there were some electrical issues upstairs after the fact, so it's time to have them looked at.
Okay.
When I came in, I thought it was, got the paper crossed it. So I went around and parked over here to come up the ramp.
Mhm.
And I just went over and pushed the button to come up the floor. And I thought, should I be on here or not? I came up okay.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it until I got in there.
That's right on it, right?
No, that was this one here. I was over there with Mr. Mitchell on the
Oh,
other.
that one's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we get a placard.
Yeah.
Make sure she's out of commission.
Well, we have the power turned off in the basement now to it.
Oh, perfect.
We have notices on every floor, so there's, they can't open the door.
Gotcha. All right, sounds good, Rick. Thanks. Okay, how's things, on highway, Chris? How's everything going?
Good. A couple things. We're gonna close down County Route 38 Bridge in Village and Parish. My job's gonna start May 16th, and hopefully open it back up sometime in September, mid-September. That's a Bridge New York project. Contractors doing it, Slate Hill contractor. Sent out the blacktop list to everybody. There's one change on that. I got a revised list. We had to add Country 25, that road that we just took over.
Yeah.
That we plan on paving that.
Okay.
The blacktop price, I figured it in April, and I got the news today on the price of asphalt went up 30 cents a gallon, and that changed the price of blacktop. It went from about $73 to $77 a ton. So up $4.5 a ton just from the 1 month increase. That's a lot.
Right.
I don't think I remember it going up that much. So asphalt's $3.18 a gallon now.
Do you remember how much it was? A year and a half, 2 years ago?
Last year, May price was, I think it was like, that had to be the probably $1 more a gallon. I mean, it's, we have a lot of.
I might have missed it. What's this year's cost per ton?
This May's May's price, I got it figured at $77.27 a ton. Binder's $60.18.
Man, we should have bought back when somebody said buy.
Yeah.
You're gonna fill the elevator shaft with it? We had storage for it. We could have stored.
I heard rumors that off-road diesel will have a bucket quarter in 7 days.
Hey.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
All right, Chris.
It's not even a day.
And then I want to bring up that issue I had with Parish.
Yes, that's actually, go ahead.
Okay, town of Parish superintendent got a hold of me today. They have a beaver dam problem on one of their town roads, St. Mary's Road. And there's a beaver dam about 30 feet off the road, and it's on county property. And I talked to Rich Mitchell about it. He said that to get permission to go on county property, they have to get permission from the highway department, or highway committee. So, and they would have to, if we give them permission, the town of Parish, if they want to go out and take the dam down or trap the beaver, they would just have to get all the permits required to do that. So I guess I'm asking if we can give them access.
I'd make a motion to let town of Parish go on county property to remove trap or whatever it takes to handle the beaver dam situation they have.
I'll second.
First by legislator Martinez, second by legislator Olst.
They got to do something, the road's flooded, it's water's going over the road now.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Gotta get them.
And I know they've dealt with it in the past. I know most towns have, and they know how to safely do it.
He's been talking to DEC, so he's already trying to get looking at a nuisance permit, whatever else he has to do to get out there.
They don't have one, they don't.
I don't think so, but they're easy to get. You just call
Oh,
them.
yeah, no, I was just had, like, Town of Hastings has a run one.
I don't,
We have a running nuisance permit through the highway department to remove beaver dams and such
Yeah.
as they come up.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if they had something like that or if they
didn't
had something.
sound like it. He's a new superintendent, so he might not have got one yet.
George.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none.
That's all I got.
Okay, thank you, Chris, for the updates.
Thank you,
And
Dan.
I believe that is everything. I just wanted to let everyone know I had a brief meeting with the Town Highway Superintendents Association to discuss the snow and ice contract. And as we all know, not only the cost of things have significantly risen in the last year, but when we first entered this agreement back, it's been 3 years now, we did some estimates on cost per ton and this and that as far as materials, labor, and things like that. And now that we've gone through the 3 years, we had a chance to really sit down. They had a chance to analyze their stuff more, and as did we. And we had just kind of a non-formal meeting just to see where we were at, because like doing any contract, we're seeking obviously more money. We just got together briefly just to see roughly where we were at, and we set up a meeting for May 17th, I believe, right? Yeah, May 17th. And any of the legislators that wish to go, by all means, I encourage you to come. But it's something so you can get a better feel of where we're at with that, why things are the way they are. So anyone that, like I said, any legislators wants to sit during that meeting, there's no issue. And then once we speak with them on it, then we'll bring it to committee and we'll discuss it here more before we go. We're probably 6 months or so ahead of it, which is probably the way it should be. We can start working things out now, so it's not a last minute thing. And we can try and stay ahead of it. And we seem to open the lines of communication a little better now. Things seem to be communicating a little more. There's some issues that we had, and some issues they had. Seem to be trying to work things out. Like I said, we're making some notes. We'll bring it to committee next month. Okay, does anyone have any questions?
Whereabouts is the meeting?
What's that? Oh, jeepers, yeah, oh, Mike would know, my God, can you imagine if I would have missed that?
I was in the real,
Oh,
I just wondered where the meeting was.
the meeting's it's gonna be at the county highway upstairs. What time did we set? I want to say it was 3:30.
3:30, yeah, I got it written down.
3:30, yeah, I can let you know.
Okay.
Oh my God, I cannot believe everything we've been going through with this bridge, Mike, and I got to the tail end. Can you imagine that?
It's still pretty smooth so far.
Understood that. As we're all aware, one of the last things up is our feasibility study in the Sandy Island Beach State Park Bridge. Mike, is there anything you want to say on this? As you know, we've been dealing with this bridge for quite some time now, and we weren't exactly thrilled with the resulting initial proposal that came forth by the state. And we had an agreement with them that if we found our alternate site, which was actually the original site of the bridge, and that we would have to do the engineering ourselves, in which we did. And we put together a package, and they seemed to be happy with it. There was a couple of little bugs that had to be worked out, I believe, as far as environmental things, but they were going to be the same environmental issues that we would have had anytime you put a bridge anyway. So we're working through those, and I know it had to come back to committee to get reapproved because the site location had changed. So therefore, we're looking for Chris. Oh, Chris.
I think this was part one of a two-part study. This just looked at the feasibility of using that old existing roadbed. There hasn't been any cost put together with that yet, so I think the second part, CNS was going to go through and work up an estimate how much it's going to cost. 'Cause I think that's going to be pretty pricey to run that way. So
Right.
I think there's a second part, isn't there?
Yeah, it's 2 parts.
So this was just saying, yeah, there's a chance that you can do it, but The second part, they'll actually look into a little more and get a little more in depth of the permitting that would be required and put a cost to what it would cost to run through there, because there's quite a bit of fill they'd have to put in, raise the road. So,
I know they, initially when we went back and forth, I know we really wanted to go in that direction. We want to go in that direction. And in order to do that, I think there were some changes that had to be made. And I think when we factored in, the cost would have been to go the other route, taking the other property, and know we had zero support as far as taking anybody's property. So we're kind of, it's either this way or no way. So that's why I know we had to go back and approve this part, and we'll see how it comes to the second half of the study with them, and I guess we can go from there. But at this point, I believe we have to approve this part of the study.
Make a motion.
First by legislator Martino, second by legislator Olson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any none? Move forward. Okay, now we're looking for the agenda. All right. Look for a motion to adjourn. I'll get that. All right, first by legislator Holt, second by legislator Martino. All in favor? Aye.